Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the meeting of the Board of Trustees for Monday, May 6th. Would you all join me in the pledge? And Jessica Troff-Gruppen, would you lead us in the pledge, please? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First on our agenda tonight is the approval of the agenda, and I would like to add under E, action items 3, new business, we'll add item number I, certified resignation with permission to post.
I make the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as amended. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Recognitions. Well, my first recognition tonight involves some 5th grade math tutors who are helping their fellow students. And I'm incredibly proud of, I've got to see what they do, and I'm just incredibly proud of them. And I think the whole community and board needs to hear what they've been up to. So if you guys would come up for a microphone and tell us what you've been doing.
Good. Yeah, I know. All of me's cold. All right. First of all, I want to thank you guys for inviting us this evening. Mrs. Carr and I make up the title math team at the elementary, and we appreciate that you've taken the time to recognize our morning math mentors. These young ladies deserve to be recognized for their hard work and dedication. First, I'd like to give you some background on how this concept came about. It was during the beginning of the previous school year, and we were in math meetings reviewing data with the kindergarten teachers. And to be honest, we had several students that were coming in with very few math skills. For example, they were not familiar with their shapes, such as circles and squares. Many could not count to 5 or count objects accurately. Several didn't know their colors. Often what we find with our incoming kinders is that they just have not been exposed to any math concepts. And once they're in school for a while, they're able to learn and to understand it. However, our students that come in with such a low skill set need early intervention in order for them to get to grade level as quickly as possible. With a team of grade level teachers and title teachers, the students are prioritized by need. Mrs. Carr and I take the lowest scoring students, and they're admitted to title math. Students who need extra practice beyond class time meet with the morning mentors right here. Students who require intense intervention meet with the morning mentors in addition to title and classroom interventions. Each mentor is assigned the specific students, and each student has targeted skills they need to practice. The mentors work one-on-one with each of their students on the assigned activities. This project has been a win-win, or rather maybe even a win-win-win. Win number 1 is student growth. In the fall of 2022, we had 20 out of our 62 kindergartners score below the 40th percentile when we did our fast bridge assessments. At the end of the year, 9 of those students moved out of the high-risk category. In the fall of 2023, we had 19 of 59 students below the 40th percentile. We'll do our end of the year testing this week, so I don't have a final score yet, but our middle of the year score showed 6 students had been moved out of the high-risk category. Of those students remaining in high risk, most of them showed significant growth. They're still just in that high risk category because when you're in the 3rd percentile, even though you've made some really good growth, you're still considered high risk. So they've made growth too. Win number 2 is the positive relationships between our older and younger students. When you hear them in the hallway, they're having real conversations. Our mentors provide our little learners with instant positive feedback and support. These little ones truly look up to these girls and want to please. Oftentimes, these kids work better for their mentors than they do for Mrs. Carr or myself. Most of the time, probably. Win number 3, this program is helping to keep kids out of title. Frequent distributive practice is necessary in order for these students to make growth. The morning mentors provide another point of exposure time that doesn't take away from the classroom time. Again, I want to thank you for taking time to recognize our math mentors. They show up each and every morning, they get right to work, they conduct themselves in a professional manner, and they are truly making a difference. At this time, we will have each of our girls share a little bit about their mentoring program. I want to talk to you guys for a second though, because they're awesome. These girls are absolutely amazing. And I know you're nervous. If you can hear it in my voice, I'm nervous too. So I'm going to tell you something that happened to me when I was in high school. I was supposed to give a speech because I was running for the student office and it was all these people I didn't know and I was nervous and I was in a skirt, which I don't usually wear, and I was in heels, which I didn't wear, and I fell down the steps with my skirt on. And then I finally got on stage and I dropped all my note cards and they were out of order and I'm still alive. So it's okay. All right. So we'll let McCall go first. Do you want me to just, do you want to hold it? Do you want me to? I got it. Okay.
Hello, my name is McCall Benson, and this is my second year volunteering as an early morning math mentor. Tonight, I will be talking about the math mentoring program with title teachers in the elementary school. Student volunteers get the opportunity to work with certain kids before school begins each day if they need extra help with different areas in math. Each student who comes to us for mentoring has a special card that has their learning goals on them. The cards are color-coded based upon the student's needs. Pink cards, we prefer that done first because they are the kids that need the most help. Then we switch to the orange cards. Orange cards mean that they still need extra math practice, but they aren't as intensive. After orange comes green. Green means that those kids that have almost mastered the skills but still need some monitoring. For example, if a child needs help with counting to 20, then they get assigned to one of us. Every morning from 8 to 8:30 a.m. before school starts, we get to work with them. We like to include some sort of movement with their counting. We use a spinny disc, balance board, skates, and bounce boards. We want the tutoring to always be fun and interactive, so we try to incorporate learning activities with movement. If they need help with writing numbers, then instead of doing it on a piece of paper, we have them write on gel boards, sand, and sometimes shaving cream. If they need help with identifying numbers, we have a few different strategies. We can either use the smartboard and the number pops up and they have to say it, or we can write the numbers they need help with on the whiteboard or gel boards. We make learning so fun that most of the time the kids think they are playing and are excited to come learn. We are the masters of math disguise. Hi, my name is Samantha Finley. PLC is a professional learning community. Morning Mentors is made up of 8 fifth grade girls, kindergarten, Miss Carr, and Miss Austinson. We meet every morning to talk about if we need to change kids to fit them with the right mentors. Also, we discuss how the students are doing, and if they're doing well, we move them on to more challenging concepts. We also conference with the teachers to see what they're still struggling on and how we can help. Our group will also let the teachers know if the students are going above and beyond their goals. Once every month, we meet with Ms. Carr at lunch to talk about the orders of kids we get each morning, depending on their needs. We will also talk about activities we will be doing with each kid. PLC plays a very important role in making morning mentors successful. In our program is not only about math, we do other things. We do some of the girls' hair, which makes them feel good about themselves, makes them feel like they belong here. In some cases, we have extra clothes in case they need them. These kids make me feel happy. Every morning I see them, they are smiling and happy. They are always jumping around and very hyper. When they are having a bad day, they come to school very happy. They look forward to come every morning and be active learners. Hello, my name is Bailey Borton. These are a couple of experiences I've had within my time being a math mentor. For example, the first time a little kindergartner was to come and learn with me, while they were counting, they struggled to find the room where we needed to go. It took a few minutes to get to the room, but we made it. I did tell them to take a second so we can redirect to the room before they started counting again. They were so focused on counting that they almost ran into walls. But now this child has no problem counting and doesn't need to think so strongly. Another experience with the children in this math mentoring program is when this child was first learning 2D shapes, the student was very honest and told me that they didn't understand. Now they know their shapes very well, and after many lessons and helping hands, this math program has helped me make friends and get a glimpse of what teachers deal with every day. Hello, my name is Anna Evenson, and I'm a fifth grade student at NES. I have had the privilege to teach kindergarteners math in the mornings. I really appreciate Mrs. Carr and Mrs. Austinson for giving me the opportunity to be part of these children's educational journeys. It really has brought me joy being around these kids every morning and watching them grow and improve in their learning. I'm so proud to see how much these children have improved over the course of the 2 years that I've worked with them. I have one particular student that has improved a lot this year. When I first got this student, they could barely write to 50 by 10s. Last week, they wrote to 1,000 with very little help. To round it up, I just want to say that I'm very thankful to be part of this program. Hi, my name is Maisie Owens. I work as a tutor in Mrs. Carr's classroom during the mornings. Our organization works with kindergartners and some first graders so that they have a better understanding of math. I have realized that because of this program, my group and I have grown and matured. Working as a mentor in Mrs. Carr's classroom has not only been fun, but has also helped me to learn and grow as a student. It has helped me to be more patient and understand how to help others. It has also allowed me to understand and appreciate the jobs that teachers have. It encouraged me to want to become a teacher. After mentoring, I understand that sometimes a kid can teach a kid. It doesn't always take an adult to teach a child. It taught me how to work and collaborate with other people. Mrs. Carr's classroom has shown me and some of my other classmates how to be better people. In conclusion, working in Mrs. Carr's classroom has helped both me and my friends grow up and mature. I hope that after hearing this little report, you will encourage children to join the math group and take our spots. Hello, my name is Laura Lip. I'm a fifth grader and have been helping these kindergartners and first graders for the past 2 years. The growth in these children is truly astonishing. Each individual kid improves in the 30 minutes we have them in the morning. One example is we have this one first grade child who could only count to 10 at the beginning of the school year. Now this child has been counting to 180 flawlessly with no reminders. Another example I got to help with was not only to help with school and school work, but it was also to help with social life and following instructions. I am very grateful to help with this program, and also a big thanks to you guys for letting us come speak today, and a big thanks to Title Math and classroom teachers for letting me be part of this organization for the past 2 years. Thank you. Hi, I'm Cindy Baker, and I am a math mentor. My relationship with these kids is astonishing and unbelievable. I wish I had started earlier because of these children. All these students make me want to stay and not go to sixth grade because how amazing these kids truly are. I will miss every single one of them. When I'm having a bad day, these kids make me feel amazing in every way. Most of these students are happier during the school day when they come down in the mornings. When they see me or anyone else, they will give us a high five or a huge hug. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's more than math, it's a relationship. Also, big thanks to Title Math and classroom teachers for letting me help with these kids in the mornings. Have a good night. We would like
we would like you guys to hear from kindergarten really fast so that, from their point of view, how it's been beneficial to their grade level.
Well, they spoke way better than I can. Just thank you to all of these guys and the kids that were there last year. We had, what, 3 that went on to 6th grade?
Yeah.
About 3 of them that helped last year. So thanks to Mrs. Carr and to Mrs. Austinson for all that they do. Seriously, they summed it up. This program is amazing. The kids that come in that they get to see every morning, not only are low in math, but they're low with their social skills and everything. They see these girls and they're honestly giving them those high fives, those hugs, and it's a win-win for the kindergartners, for the 5th graders, for us as teachers to see them grow academically and socially. And it's just truly amazing to see what Mrs. Carr and Mrs. Austinson have done for this program and what these kids continue to do to help our kids. So it's truly amazing. I hope they continue in the future.
Mm. So I have a question. I know one of you said you might be interested in teaching when you grow up and graduate high school and go to college. How, is there more than one? Who else interested in teaching? Yes. So thank you so much. I'm glad you learned that we're not really scary. So and let's hear it too for Mrs. Carr and Mrs. Austinson, because I'm just so proud of all of you. Thank you for coming to see us and telling us all about your program. And cookies, there are cookies in the room across the hall. Please help yourself.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. There. Is there more coming in?
There's,
Is there?
I would think they brought extra. When did they? I don't know. We'll see. Thank you all for coming. All right, next up, we have Nita Werner from the new BOCES. Oh. Okay, well, if you would introduce yourself, that would be great.
I have 2 scholarships that are made possible by your district's support of the Northeast Wyoming BOCES Cooperative. The recipients are Zach Beam and Nicholas Peterson, and those are for the computer science endorsement program through the University of Wyoming. So I don't know if they're in the room.
One of them, we have one. Yay.
Is Zach Beam? No, Zach is not with us today. Do I take that? And I just want to say thanks to this board and this district for your support of that cooperative. It really is a benefit for the districts, and that's always our goal and our efforts. So Anita is the expert in that area, but it's taking me under her wing, and so I'm doing my best to learn. And I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be here tonight.
Thank you, Taylor, and congratulations, Nick and Zach. All right, are there any other recognitions tonight? Brandy.
We'll just make it the elementary show tonight. Thank you.
Okay.
I'd just like to recognize the good citizens for the month, Talon Folk, Brixton, Croucher, and Peyton Leonard. Also this last week, we celebrated School Lunch Hero Day. And if you've never had lunch at the elementary, I'd invite you to come down. They do a very nice job. This week is also, we're going to have School Nurse Day on Wednesday. And A thank you to Allison. She's done a very nice job for us. And then, of course, this week is also Teacher Appreciation Day, or week. So a big thank you to all of our teachers.
Anyone else? My recognition was that it is Teacher Appreciation Week. Board members will be out visiting you later this week. So, but just in case we don't see all of you, which we probably won't get to see all of you in one day, thank you so much. As I said at the appreciation dinner, we're just very proud of you and very thankful for all of you. So thank you. All right, visitors' comments. We'll move on to action items, the consent agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. We have no old business, so we'll move on to new business, the 24-25 classified staff and directors list.
Yes, Madam Chair, in your packet, I would recommend to the board those in that list for approval for both the classified and the directors list for the 24-25 school year.
Move to approve.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 24-25 classified employee and directors list. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The 24-25 extra duty list.
So in your packet again, Madam Chair, I would recommend to the board the approval of those on that list for the 24-25 extra duty list.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 24-25 extra duty list. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Certified transfer.
So in looking at a very small incoming kindergarten class, I would recommend to the board the approval of the certified transfer for Elise Louise Parsons from kindergarten to first grade.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the certified transfer of Louise Parsons from kindergarten to first grade. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Certified transfer.
Again, looking at student numbers and moving, I would recommend to the board the approval of the certified transfer of Tori Vanderpool Mobley from third grade to fourth grade.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the certified transfer of Tori Vanderpool Mobley from third grade to fourth grade. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Middle school, high school coaches handbook on first reading.
Yeah, so on first reading, again, in your packet, I would recommend that coach's handbook as presented.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the middle school, high school coaches handbook on first reading. And to clarify, we'll have 3, correct? Didn't we have 3
That's
usually?
generally what we do, but it doesn't have to, but most of the time that gives everyone ample time to read and reflect.
Carrie, did you have discussion item? Yes, ma'am,
See how used to this I'm getting?
you are.
Alicia and I just have one question. There was one thing that we wanted to add. We wanted to add a mission statement. Can we still do that before the second reading?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so we would just send it with any additions?
Yes.
Okay.
And we'll review it before the second reading.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Recommendation to approve a classified transfer of Ken Cook from nighttime custodian to daytime custodian.
Yes, and that would be effective starting May 28th, which actually then we go into our summer hours but that transfer would go into effect for next school year if approved.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the classified transfer of Ken Cook from a nighttime custodian to a daytime custodian. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Bid proposal recommendation from Marco for the school refresh 2024 computer upgrade.
Yes, and I would make that recommendation again, making sure everyone understands this is under the ESSER funds. It is through Marco and the cost is $870,758. Little steep.
So moved. Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the bid proposal from Marco of the school refresh upgrade in the amount of $870,750 using $58, using ESSER funds. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Request to go out for bids for 2 MPVs, so a Suburban and a van, and 1 Type C Bluebird bus.
Yes, and I would make that recommendation to the board to go out for those bids.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to go out for bids for 2 MPVs, a Suburban and a van, and 1 Type C Bluebird bus for this fiscal year. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Item I, a certified resignation with permission to post.
Yes, I would recommend to the board the resignation of Jessica Troffgruben and permission to post that position.
Move to approve with regret. Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the resignation of Jessica Troffgruben from Newcastle High School and grant permission to post the position and thank her for her service and for all the connections she made with kids. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'd also like to thank you for all you've done for the students of Newcastle. Madam Chair, I'd like to second that.
Jason,
Speaking for myself, but on behalf of the veterans, thank you for that portion that you do to honor us veterans and get their stories out.
thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the classified resignation of Jessica Troffgruben and grant permission to post the position. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Okay, we're gonna move on to administrators' reports. Randy.
I don't have a lot tonight. It is May and we're super busy at the elementary, like always, but this month in particular. Tomorrow we do finish white top testing. Yay. We were lucky enough to get the visit for the white top audit that we had mentioned at the last meeting and it went well. We passed with flying colors, so That was last Thursday. And then right away, once we get done with that, we're moving right into Acadians testing tomorrow and then Fast Bridge right after that. And then we'll have data meetings and talk about all of it so we can do our school plan. So like I said, busy time of year. I did just want to, in the spirit of things that happen in the morning at the elementary school, we also do our morning enrichment with reading club, which is in the library. We have kiddos come in, they can read with younger kiddos, they can take quizzes, they can just read, they can do some activities, reading activities on the iPad, that kind of thing. And that's gone on all year, and we average between 20 and 25 kids a morning, and that starts at 7:30 in the morning. So kudos to Mrs. Fullerton does that for us, and we found that it really helps for those kids that need to get dropped off a little bit early, so. Also at that same time is when Mr. Nelson does the computer club that I kind of mentioned in the past. I had asked them if they wanted to come show you all their project that they're doing for the competition, which we haven't heard back on yet. And they were not quite as willing to come and share their experience with you. So they're going to work on a video that they'll send to all of you on what their project is. So a little bit more techy that way. So,
Well,
and
if
there's
if we could, then when they
Yeah.
do the video, I would like to do it at the beginning of a meeting
Sure,
so that it's available for everyone to see,
great.
not just the board members.
Yes.
Thank
great.
you.
And there's 6 kiddos that have been doing that, so just so you know. And then it's that time of year, we have the final count in. We had 281 kids qualify for Watiki. So if anybody would like to go swimming on the 21st, you're welcome to join us, so.
Folks.
And with that, we have lots of other things, but you'll all get our calendar and feel free to join us at any time. So, any questions?
Thank you, Brandy. Angie,
I don't have anything.
anyone have any questions for Angie? No, thank you. Did you have anything, Bo?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just real quick, timeline now that we approved that bid, I will sign that tomorrow with the idea of being able to have computers for teachers imaged and out to them before school is out. Then we'll start working on all the student computers after that. I will have the other bid. I think it closes on the 13th. That'll come up, and that will replace the remainder of the old in focus boards, and then we'll put new lines in every room with vertical mounts or some are going mobile, so they can move around the room. Other than that, like I said, the idea behind getting those computers is really to make sure that we're not buying computers for probably at least the next 4 years before the next high school refreshes up, with the idea of that money going back into general fund, and then either using big projects or whatnot. I think the only thing that I kind of have earmarked moving forward is that 4th year to go ahead and do one more wireless upgrade, since that money is there, to get one more in, because that's the time when our one from our last E-rate will go out of date. So we'll get one more go at replacing switches and access points and all of that, and have new stuff, hopefully to take us into the next 10 years or so, until I find another really cool project. I got one, maybe.
Thank you. Okay, did you have anything else today, Carrie? Thank you. Brad?
Madam Chair, I know that you all received the letter regarding OT services, occupational therapy. So what I will be doing along with the team is we'll get together. We are going to work with some other entities just to see what the needs are, and whether we do a vendor or whatever that will be, I will bring to your attention at a future meeting.
Thank you. Any board reports? Oh, Casey, tell us about prom.
Thank you. So prom was nice. Junior class did a really good job. Lots of people had a lot of fun. It was a good time all around. Post prom was cool. Lots of big prizes. People won some good stuff. Not me. I got $20 out of it. But
Aw.
other people getting TVs and whatnot. So, but it was all a good time. With student council related, it's end of the year. Things are closing. We're really working on that transition period of kind of bringing up, especially the executive council, kind of mentoring them through on how things run and some of the responsibilities that they may be unfamiliar with, and all the classes are doing the same thing. And then the last kind of thing that we have to do is work on our honor council book, which hopefully we get all that done, and next year's council at WASC can get recognized for honor council, and it'll be the first time that we've done so in the last like decade. So if that all goes well, then it should be something nice for the council.
That's awesome. And how was your visit when you had folks come visit here and then you went to visit other schools?
Yeah, so we went down to Kelly Walsh, and for a lot of people, it's kind of a big culture shock. You just in one hallway, in a passing period, you see more kids than we have in our entire school. So it's pretty neat. They have like 3 levels, underground, indoor track facilities and weight rooms. It's crazy the amount of stuff that they have. And we learned a lot from their council and kind of how they run things on a bigger scale. They have upwards of 60 people on their council at a time. So it's a lot of management and a lot more ideas that come in too. So we got a couple good ideas from them that we might be able to implement next year as well.
That's great. I'm glad that worked.
When are your elections, or did you already have them?
So they already had elections for executive and class. The only thing is the upcoming 8th graders. We're still trying to figure out them and what they're doing. So they haven't had any elections yet, but it's sounding like they'll do them basically at the start of next year. So.
All right, well, that was one of the recognitions I forgot, was to recognize Casey for representing the student body so well with this board. And I think you missed very few meetings, and I really appreciate that. And you kept us up to date, and I really enjoyed watching. He can wrangle a group of people, and you could wrangle 60, I'm confident, if you had 60. So thank you for serving them at the school, but also thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Any other board reports? No. Jason, have you had any meetings?
No, Taylor was here to
Okay.
present the 2 scholarships, so
Yeah.
that's all we had. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, future agenda items. I will say, I visited with Weston County's Unstoppable Generation group, which is been formed by some former students of ours. And I have invited them to come talk to the board about what they do on June 12th. So we'll do that. Let's see, we have to, at 8 o'clock, we have to do our preliminary budget for rec board, but so discussion items. The only thing I had for that was, graduation is May 19th, Sunday at 2 p.m. So is everybody going to be able to be there? As far as we know? That'd be great. It's one of the fun days. All right, does anybody have anything else they'd like to discuss? I'm going to call this meeting adjourned. Wait, I can't do that. We have to recess. Then can we open? Can we,
We do the rec board or?
can the rec board do their other business? Though, we can recess, let rec board do their business. I believe we can do that. What do you think? Yeah, well, we recess.
Recess.
Yeah. So you can recess to resume the regular board meeting following the conclusion of the rec board meeting. So it's all been noticed appropriately. So if you want to recess it and then return, you can do that.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna recess this school board meeting. And we're gonna have
Got 15 minutes.
a rec board meeting. We're still gonna get a break.
All right, we'll call the rec board meeting to order. You have an agenda in front of you. Can I get a motion to approve agenda?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the agenda? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same sign. Agenda is approved. Is there any recognitions? Seeing none, move on to visitors' comments. Are there any visitors' comments for the rec board? Seeing none, we'll move on to action items. Number 1, consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve consent agenda? Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? Seeing none, so all those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, the same sign. Consent agenda approved. There's no old business. Moving on to new business. We have a bid proposal recommendation to refinish the Dogie Dome gym floor.
Move to approve?
Been moved and seconded. Do I go to recommendations? Do we have to?
Mr. Chair, that would be my recommendation.
All right, nope, you're good. It's been properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion by the board? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The bid proposal for the gym floor has been passed. We'll move on to the bid proposal to upgrade swimming pool competition light.
And Mr. Chair, in your packet, I have a proposal for you for an estimate of $5,500 to replace the competition pool lighting.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Jason?
Brad, is that just all of the lights just in the immediate pool area then?
No, it's those actually, the competition lights are, I believe, the ones that are not in the tray. So the tray ones, I guess, are the reflective lights that come back, which are normal. And then the competition lights are the other outside lights that help the referees observe students and athletes that either perform or don't perform flip turns very well.
Gotcha.
And that's what that basic the lighting is so the officials can look at, proper stroke and any infractions of pool violations.
Angie, we have that in our budget?
Billy?
Wasn't this also a kind of a safety issue too? Isn't that what Tracy brought up as a safety issue as well?
I think they only run them during the competition event, so I don't know of not a safety issue that I was aware of anyway.
Any other discussion for that? Okay, we got a motion and a second for that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Bid proposal for the competition lights has passed. I have nothing for your information. Unless somebody has anything for anybody else's information. Any discussion items? All right, meeting adjourned.
Smoking.
Okay, we will resume at 7:58. We're gonna describe in the next minute that we will be looking at the preliminary budget hearing and intent to levy 1/2 mil for Eastern Wyoming BOCES and levy 1 mil for Eastern Weston County Recreation District. Promise to get that right. So we're just waiting for the Jeopardy song to end, and at 8 o'clock, we'll start discussing that. This is our preliminary budget hearing, intent to levy 1/2 mil for Eastern Wyoming BOCES, intent to levy 1 mil for Eastern Weston County Recreation District. Would you like to give us some budget information? Thank you,
Madam
Mindy.
Chair. So, as you know, we have to have the preliminary budget by May 15th, and then we'll have the final budget hearing on July 17th. So our ADM has stayed steady this year at 769.245, and the ADM in the budget model is 769.123. So it hasn't changed much for this year, or this coming year. I'm anticipating around 13,750,000 for the revenue, but we don't have the final yet. The guarantee for this fiscal year 2024 was 13,361,63. Anticipating $1.5 million carryover, but we'll not know for sure until the end of the school year. And these are extremely preliminary figures.
We understand.
So
Absolutely.
expenditures with the 16% health increase, and that our dental insurance has increased by 3.5%, which affected the budget by about $2,000. I compared it to WEPT. It was still a little cheaper, so we'll stay with Delta Dental for this fiscal year.
You said how much? Ange?
Pardon? 3.5%. It averaged about $2,000, a little over $2,000 for the fiscal year. So the capital construction fund, it's developed based on component level projects and security projects. We did spend it all this year, what was in there. I'm not 100% sure how we are funded more in that area, but there's many questions to be asked. So we do not have a debt service fund budget. The BOCES preliminary budget is on May 15th. I will know more then. This last year it was the $1/2 mil generates about $80,000 this school year. So it helps with the outreach programs. Food services, approximately $400,000 in appropriations. We haven't supplemented yet from the general fund for this fiscal year. I did find out today that there's about 7,000 to 8,000 owed for lunches. 7,000 to 8,000, yeah. The recreation district, I don't have any numbers yet either. I used last year's at 118 from the 1 mil levy. That's the swimming pool, pool wages, the rec director wages and the weight room wages come out of that. The major maintenance fund, is around 840 in major maintenance revenue. It may be more. I used last year's number because I don't have a number yet. I did talk to the assessor and here in town, and she said it's gonna be a little bit before she has any numbers for me. So she's been working on it, so just kind of waiting for numbers, so. On the expenditure report, I used last year's numbers. I did add in what was approved by the board at the last board meeting, added those in. There is some inflation, inflated numbers. This is copied. I've copied it last year, copied it this year. I'm feeling a little more comfortable now, so I want to look into a little more and see where things can, maybe be fixed up a little bit. To represent actually more what we're doing or spending. And then there's the revenue. What I estimate for our revenue. It's the 13,789,453. So 05, yes. So I compared just like the last few years. I'm like, am I looking kind of where we've been and that's what it looked like? So
You're doing a good job.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything you've done.
any
I-
questions?
I do have one question.
Okay.
That I think we have asked this before, but I would like everybody watching too to understand. So if the half mil generates about 80,000 for EWC, is the area that mill comes from different than the area for the rec district? And I ask that because if a half mil is 80,000, then 1 mil is 118. And it seems like it should be twice as much.
Right. I will have to find out because I really
Okay.
don't know.
Is
just
that the
remember.
case that it comes from
I would assume it would come from
different?
a different area, only because it's Torrington, Musk. right?
I'm-
But
Yeah,
East-
that's
I can
just,
ask Major King.
would you
Yeah.
clarify that for us? Cause I think that's the case. But if I was just looking this, I would kind of go, well, why is 1/2? Why is 1 mil not double the amount of 1/2? But I think that's the reason, but
And the rec would come from our area.
Right.
Just the
Okay.
local Eastern.
I
So,
think-
okay, yeah. That's what I think, but I'm not sure.
I
And
think so
I will be
too.
in the meeting as well, so.
Okay, thank you guys for doing that for us. Does anyone have any questions? Jason, do you have a question? Touch that green
I
button.
don't know if you can, but Brad, that 7,000 to 8,000, is that about our average? Or is it up this year?
I think that was about that.
Is it
amount
about our
last year,
average?
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
The only thing hopefully anticipating. EWC was going to re-examine how they funded their different outreach offices. And we were hoping that because of the large volume of students that do both concurrent and dual, that we would benefit from a budget change with that, but I don't believe we know.
We haven't heard on that yet.
We'll just cross our fingers and hope that happens. Anyone else have anything? Questions, concerns? All right, John,
I would move to approve the preliminary budget hearing and also ask for the 1/2 mil for the Eastern Wyoming BOCES and 1 mil for the Eastern Weston County Rec District.
it's been moved and seconded to publish our intent to levy 1/2 mil for Eastern Wyoming BOCES and intent to levy 1 mil for Eastern Weston County Recreation District, and that we have had a preliminary budget hearing. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Does anyone have anything else to discuss before we're done this evening? Thank you to everybody who's going to help do staff appreciation. Thank you, Dana, and please thank Barbara too for doing the cards, and Tina for helping. I know you said Barbara provided a bunch of stuff.
A little bit.
Yeah. Was it?
She did a lot of she brought a lot of embellishments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much for doing those. If you'd add them to my recognitions too, I'd appreciate it.
Lewis helped us do too.
And Barbara Lewis. Paul? Oh, meeting adjourned. Sorry.
And it would have been interesting to see how many votes may have changed because of Gordon's actions, because of the response of their communities after those bills were passed, specifically the gun-free zone bill. I think that we would have very much seen a change in votes on that one. I think you would have seen more nay votes on that than you had before.
So you're saying that that some folks were counting on the governor veto in that one?
I very much 100% think that especially school districts, courthouses, places like that were banking that the governor was going to go, no way are we letting guns in these areas. And I think that their response afterwards may or may not have swayed some of those representatives and senators to vote a different way because the response was strong.